What's going on, guys? I'm back, and I just finished watching a movie called Tenet, starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, and Elizabeth Debicki. First of all, I find it highly peculiar, and it could just be me, that a few months back, maybe even longer than that, Robert Pattinson was announced to be the new Batman. Now, fast forward, he's in this movie directed by Christopher Nolan, of all people. Come on, guys. Is this his test run to see how he fares in an action movie? Is it? Or is it just me? Something to think about. Anyways, back to the review. For people who are not aware of this movie, and that's hard to believe because this movie's been advertised for a long time. I just haven't heard anybody speak about it. But the Tenet is about a secret agent who's sent on a test run to see how loyal he is. He shows his loyalty, passes with flying colors, like a G. And so they send him on the real mission, which is to find out who's making these inverted weapons. Inverted weapons that you pretty much catch it. You catch these like bullets. You catch the bullets, but you can also hit and kill your target while catching it back in your hand, in a gun or in your hand or however you're reversing that action. All right, it's very interesting when you watch the movie. So he goes about that mission, and of course within the mission he gets in a little too deep with a certain character. I'm not going to mention who it is. You got to find it out. And with that, the drama begins. The real drama begins. All right. So the positives of this. The positives, man. First of all, shout out to John David Washington, aka Denzel Jr. Man, and I joke because honestly, the reason I'm giving him a shout out is because he stood out on his own with this one. He really did. He has shown me that he is more than his father's son. Alright? He is his own person. And yeah, he did that a little bit with his other movies too, but this is the one. This is the one. He just has that look, that stare that he gives people, and it's all him. Even though he has a little bit of his dad's personality, he doesn't look like his dad, but he has a little bit of his personality. Just a mix with his who he is, which makes it perfect because that creates him. Kudos to that. Kudos to this guy, man. Kudos to him. It's an upcoming actor. Second thing that I like about this is the cinematography and the special effects were superb. They were on point. I just want to say that. The whole reverse action, reverse fight scenes, reverse scenery, everything around was just in unison when that started happening. And I know there are probably a few other movies that had reverse scenes, but not like this. Not like this. Got to give no props to Christopher Nolan, man. He did his thing with this. He does his thing with a lot of his movies. This was this was one of those. This is one of those, man. This is one of those. Since the Dark Knight trilogy. Alright. Now, also, I like the fact that they weren't afraid to throw some jokes in there. To, from time to time, lighten up the scenery. Lighten up the mood. Not too much. They kind of slipped the jokes in there. But I actually chuckled at a few of them. Smiled at most of them, but chuckled at a few of them. Because it's still an action movie. So once they make that joke, they're right back into the action and the seriousness and the anger and all that, right? But I like the fact that they did that. But give me a little humor in my action. I don't mind. Now, negatives. There's not a lot. The only negatives I can give you is the fact that some of the dialogue was hard to understand because, well, a lot of the characters had strong foreign accents. A lot of the characters were foreign, or from foreign countries and whatnot. So their accents were very strong, and I kind of missed some of the dialogue that they were talking about. But it's mostly gone my fault. Just listen a little harder, because remember, it didn't hurt the movie. It didn't hurt. I still was able to understand what was going on and follow the storyline. I mean, other than that, there really is no other negative. There really isn't. There really is no other negative to this movie other than I was lost for a little bit, and then I found it quickly. I also didn't expect the sound in the theater to be that loud. I almost popped the eardrum. But, I guess when you have surround sound at the house, that's going to make up for it. That's what they made that for. So that might turn into a good thing right there. That's another thing that kind of was annoying, but not too bad. Those are my negatives. So, you know what I'm about to say. This movie gets a hell yeah. It's a hell yeah, man. I enjoyed this movie so much. I'm just going to be real with you. I felt I was going to enjoy this movie when I saw the previews. I think just seeing Christopher Nolan's name on the product put the bow on this. It put the ribbon on this for me. You know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to John David Washington, man, doing his thing. Hope to see him in more movies. Be the next big action star. Make him forget about Denzel. With that being said, leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back.